Hello, everybody. How are you today? Well, we just gonna do this head up. Okay, so we're here today. We're gonna see who comes in. So I need to detangle my hair. I'm just gonna braid it up while I'm on here, and then figure out what I'm gonna do with it for the rest of the week. Because I know I'm not wearing it down. Hey, D'Angelo. Hey, Alicia. So we're gonna do something with this head, and then we're gonna talk. Now, things I'm not good at, and that's parting my head. I know people be making them like perfectly straight parts. That is not my ministry, y'all. That is truly not my ministry. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? But what we need to do, uh, but what I need to do is detangle. So we're gonna spend some time detangling this head of mine. And so I'm just gonna be braiding it down for today. And then maybe do something different. So anyway, what am I looking for? Um, hey Birdie. All right. So I'm gonna get started on my head, and then we're gonna have this whole conversation. Because over here, I am trying to this is my chit chat side, but sometimes we should have like a meaningful chit chat. Not just talking shit chit chat, but something with some substance, with some meat and muscle behind it. So this is one of them. So feel free to chime in. I'm over here on StreamYard. So if y'all say something good, we can put it on the screen. Everybody can see it. You know what I'm saying? As I'm doing this. Oh, I think I need a towel for my hands. Yeah. Okay, so let me tell y'all what I'm about to use on my head. Oh, I got this. This is cool because I need to wash it anyway. All right. So two things. I got my water. We're gonna do this here. So I'm oiling my hair, my scalp with this. Oh, I need to clean this off. So I'm gonna oil my scalp with this. This is Camille Rose Cocoa Nibs and Honey Ultimate Strength Serum. I actually do make oils for my own. I do have an oil that I make for my hair, but I don't know where it's at. And plus, sometimes I just don't feel like doing this shit. Oh, open it up. So we're gonna do a little. We're gonna get this head together. Hey, Rachel, how are you? Hey, Chantel. All right. So let's get up in this head, y'all. Let's get up in this head. Whew. Then we're gonna comb through it. Hopefully, all my hair won't come out of my head. And I still have hair on my head when I'm done. So one thing I found, y'all ready for this? In 2024, y'all ain't gonna be ready. The girl who does Bee's hair, her braids, she is giving old school pricing, child. I asked her about getting a silk press and a trim. Y'all ain't gonna believe this price. Y'all ain't gonna believe this price, y'all. She told me $70. I said, girl, I'll be making an appointment. I said, I will be making an appointment. Do y'all hear me? Because nowadays, these motherfuckers in lost they mad on the pricing. And they wonder why they can't keep the clientele. If you are charging $150, $200, my hair better be flawless. When I walk out of your salon, you hear me? I was like, girl, you trying to make me a customer. You trying to make me get into somebody's chair again. Honey, trust and believe. She said, no problem. It's so funny because, hello. Hello, Gabby. How are you? Trust me, I'm booking for spring break week. I'm getting this hair done because I need a trim bad anyway. So I'm going to get this hair trimmed. Whew. Yes, the Lord I is. Okay, so let's have this conversation about reactionary living. Now that I've let you all get in, we're having our hellos and everything. All right, so let's talk about reactionary living. So, hello. This is coming about because of a something was said to me. And it made me think, I was like, yeah, that's reactionary living. So, I have noticed, and I'm sure you know this, or know people like this, or this could be you. Now, if this is you, don't take it personal. I'm just talking. That's number one. And if it's you, perhaps this could be a help for you. When I say reactionary living, what I mean is moving so quickly that you don't make good moves, or your first thing is you're going to react. You're going to react in a so quickly that sometimes it's detrimental to you. And I'm saying this because somebody said something to me, and it was so reactionary, and I was like, well, yeah, that's kind of how you move, right? Now, there's a couple of things. First off, and so what happened is that something's happening in this person's life, and the first thing they said was, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna do something different. And it's like, so as opposed to trying to figure it out, your first response is, I gotta move around everything, because that's how people do. They do this reaction. They don't think about the next step. Maybe I should ask somebody some, advice or anything. The first thing they want to do is react. And what happens with that reactionary living is that you really don't make any progress. Because I'm like, and sometimes the movement is so, makes absolutely no sense. Like, this person is like, wants this position. Okay, let me give y'all a short story of it. So, person I know wants to get into this grad program. Was told that being in the grad program, they're only going to make so much money while they're in the grad program. Now, instead of looking at the big picture, like, oh, but when I'm done with the grad program, I'll be here. Their first reaction is, I can't live off of that. I'm going to do this. And it's like, but in doing that, in the long run, will you be better off? Or would you have been better off going into the program, taking the cut for a hot minute, and then getting to what you really wanted? And so often, people look at the short-term shit as opposed to the long term. And so I'm like, okay, if that's the way you think it should go, but, and it's like the reaction. Now, the reality is there's some other alternative steps that can happen. But the first reaction is, fuck this. I'm going to do it this way. So as opposed to looking at, okay, I might take this hit right now, but in the long run, I'll make more money, But it's like, but right now, I'm going to complain, and then I'm going to say, I can't do it. as opposed to saying, okay, how can I make this happen? And so I'm saying this to say, like, if this is something that you find or somebody around you doing, it's like, honey, you got to be more solution based and think about your big picture as opposed to, this whole, oh my God, especially with age. I mean, I expect it from the youngins because they stupid. But you got some age on you and you still moving like this? But a lot of people do. I'm trying to get this all in my scalp, y'all. So yeah. So that's what I was thinking about reactionary living. Because I was like, okay, does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, and then the thing about reactionary people is that you really can't explain anything to them to make them see the sense of something because they're automatically on, no, this is why I should do it like this. So they cannot hear you and understand that maybe there's a better way to go. If I just, look for another solution to this situation. And so it's so interesting because it was like, well, what you want me to say? Because really, a reactionary person just wants you to agree to their reaction to what they're saying, right? And then they're reactionary about everything because they're quick to complain. And a reactionary person really does complain a lot. Don't get me wrong, I complain. I do get into my complaining modes, but I really am working on that because it's really like, it ain't that bad. And so I so I work on that myself because it's so easy to be reactionary instead of solution based. Because once you do that, but when you do when you have those reactionary responses, right? Right, exactly. Right? And but it's like, but here's the thing that I was going to say. And I have to stop myself, because in life I have learned that people really don't want you to really answer the questions or say things that are honest, right? They just want you to give them, what they want, really. And so, I'm saying that to say, because I could say, but do you really think you're going to make the same amount of money if you go back to doing what you were doing? Or take this pay cut for, And it's really not a pay cut because they're making that right now. They're just saying that they can't continue to make that for 2 years. Now, I'm not going to say nothing because it's only 1 year that you got to make it. The next year they bump you up. But the first thing is, I can't do this. I'm going to do this. Okay. Okay. Because what I'm not going to do is help to drive myself crazy to try and make you see that don't make no damn sense. Because it don't. But it ain't my money. It's not my life. And I find oftentimes people don't want to hear the logical, they don't want to hear the logic of it when they're in that mood or when they're that type of person. Because it's like, because I'm looking like, what? Huh? What? course they can. Yeah, they can. The interesting thing is, we live in times where you can make some extra money when you need it, more so than you ever could. If you got a car, you go, you might not want to, but you can Uber, you can do whatever. But I'm saying that it's and that's the problem. That's it right there. Because without saying, this is a person who's never really made that much money over the years. So to say you're going to go back, you better be better off where you are, because ultimately you're going to make more money than you've ever made in your entire career. And it'll be consistent, and the check will be right. But instead of seeing that, all this person sees is this moment. I'm like, it's like, okay, like if you break it down, she'll be making like, not the upcoming year, but in another year, she'll be making about $30 an hour. Now, is that perfect money? Absolutely not. But is it more than you making? Absolutely. And I think too often people want to, they're not realistic. And they want to, okay, here's another thing. Too often people base their decisions on other people's lives and how it worked out for them or what they're doing, but you're not looking at, which is so very true in this social media world. We don't look at what the person did to get there. So often people see somebody doing something and then they think that they should be able to do it too, because this person is doing it, but you don't know how long they worked at it. You don't know how much experience they have. You don't know any of those things. Or even if you do, why do you think that you should be able to jump over all that they put in order to get where they're at? Hey, Anisha. But the sad thing is, this is not a young adult. This is a very mature person who's doing the same thing, which then makes you understand why the young adults do it. Because if the older people are doing it, well, hell, how can we expect the young ones to do better when the old ones do the same thing? Woo! Do y'all see this big ass knot in my head that I cannot get out? Get this knot out. Now, let me talk about something else. This is so funny. Me and DJ hung out Friday, right? And we were talking, right? Right? So wait, so the other thing is that goes with this is, it's like reactionary is all over somebody's life, right? Because like I was telling my son, like me and DJ were talking, and I said, yeah, I can't travel with this person. And he said, why? I said, because they're a complainer. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm out of town, I'm pretty like, I think at this point in my life, I've gotten to this point where I'm just like, I'm going to work through some shit and I'm going to quickly pivot. I can pivot in a moment's notice. Okay, this is what we do. Okay, this ain't gonna work. Let's do this. You know what I'm saying? I can pivot. That is part of growing up, and part of the things that these young people can't do. But like I said, so many older people can't do it. Is I always say that you should walk through life lightly, because you can't put them firm steps down, because you never know when you're gonna have to be nimble and pivot. You might have to move to the side, whatever. You might have to make a turn. You might have to do something. So you should always walk through life with a light step in order to be able to move nimbly through it, because sometimes shit just ain't gonna work the way you think it should. And so you need to be, so that's what you have to do. And so with that, with traveling, I move lightly too. So if something don't work out, I'm ready to move on to okay, let's have a solution. And so I can't travel with people who all they want to do is complain about the weather, complain about doing this isn't happening. I ain't got time for all that shit, right? So I'm gonna move. So the way I'm gonna do it is, and so I don't like people like that. I can't travel like that. Some shit happening. Okay, well then what we gonna do next? So how we gonna do differently? Okay, so that didn't happen. So let's go to the next move, right? And so this person has a tendency to get stuck. And I think that's part of being a reactionary person, is you get stuck in that moment and you get angry. And I think that's part of everybody's anger, is because they are so reactionary that they can't think through shit without being angry about it. Listen, I ain't got time to be angry about shit too much anymore. I really don't. And I've learned, and life is about problem solving. I get it now, because I had a job where she was like, don't come to me with a problem without a solution. And the shit was irritating, but to some extent, I get it. If all you can do is come with the problems, but you don't have a solution to the problems, yeah. Now, of course, in a job situation, there's a little difference there, because sometimes we come to you because we don't have a solution, but this is the problem and you need to be aware of it. Right? But when it's like, I'm moving and grooving and I'm out of town, I am not here for being upset about shit and living in that upset moment. And then also, as a person, when I'm traveling, I'm there to have fun. And so I'm open to a lot of things. And I'm not here to, discuss what didn't happen. Oh, the Uber was bad. Now, it can make for a good story. Speaking of buzzkills. Right, exactly. Right. However, the other thing about giving the solution is a lot of times people don't want to hear the solution anyway. Because you could give them the answer, and then don't you hate that person who you give them the answer, they ask you the question, and then you give them the answer, but they really don't like the answer, so they keep asking you the same shit over and over again, different times, looking for a different answer. It's like, I done told your ass, this is how to do it. This is how it works. Now, it ain't going to change how it works. You wanting it to be like this. Night, Gabby. Right? Just because, or, it's like they want you. Well, no, what it is that they want the answer they want. But when you don't give it to them, that frustrates them. And then they're going to keep badgering you, trying to get you to give them that answer they want. Now, the other thing with that is it also absolves them from, if in case anything happens, right? It absolves them from responsibility. Well, you told me. See, that's when people badger you for answers, and then and you keep giving them that damn answer, but they want the answer to be different. They're looking for you to absolve them in case the shit don't go right. They can have somebody to blame it on. Don't fall in that trap. Hi, Shirley. Do not fall in that trap, y'all. Because I'm telling you, that's because when they trying to, hey girl, I haven't been on that long. So when they trying to get you to do that, walk away quickly, because what they're looking for you to do is take the responsibility so that they don't really have to be accountable for what happens. Because by doing that, in case the shit go wrong, then they can say, well, you told me. I ain't telling your ass nothing. Notice, I'm gonna give you the answer whether you like it or not. And then if it, and all I can say is I told your ass. Damn, is this stuff coming out? No, not really. There we go. Ooh, now I'm getting it out, y'all. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because, so if you find yourself, you do that whole reactionary thing, I want you to rethink how you respond to things. I want you to think about, yes, there's times when you have to be reactionary, but you also need to sit back and say, okay, now is this the right move? Because yes, sometimes we have to move quickly in life, but not everything has to be moved quickly, right? And when it's the big moves, you have to think long term, not just in this moment. Is it gonna make me feel good? And we too old for that shit. Now this particular friend, I could say something to her, but then she gonna be mad at me. You know what I'm saying? Because this friend's talking about, I'm just gonna go get another job. Like, but you wouldn't make it that much money. Because it's like people be forgetting, and then they kind of romanticize something when they're in a different space. Listen, I will always say this. I do enjoy teaching. We know I do. I complain about the administration. Sometimes I complain about the kids. But I know I ain't going nowhere. And I know why. Because I like my time off. And people be like, oh, that's a terrible reason. Okay, well, whatever. People are leaving the profession all the time. So be happy people like me stay in for those little things. And it's like, and so like my friend who's doing this whole reactionary thing, my question would be, but I know she won't listen or receive it because You know, people don't want to hear sometimes the reality of things, right? So I have learned that I really don't answer people's questions too much. Woo! Woo! Do y'all hear that? My kitchen ain't what be knotting up. It's the middle of my head. I know. Is everybody else like me? Whew. Because it's the middle of my head that be like, oh, bitch, you coming in here hot, ain't you? Because that's where I sweat the most. Right up in here. Woo! Because like I said, my question to her is this. How much was you making at these jobs before you came here? Because I know she wasn't making that much. But, you know, people do like to front like they're doing more than they are. For whatever reason, I don't know. I mean, I'm just honest. Listen, you know what keeps me as a teacher 2 weeks off at Christmas time and summer break. And I'm getting paid during all that time. Or if I work a 10-month contract, I made enough that I could put enough money away for the summertime so I don't have to work if I don't want to. And I usually don't. That's all I'm saying. Woo! Baby, got to get through this head. You know? Shh. Because I know one time somebody said that in a lot. They left a comment. If you don't like the job, you shouldn't do it. You know what? Shut your ass up. Everybody complained about their job at some point. Okay? Whew. Whew, y'all. Put a little more of this oil up in here. No job is perfect. I'm sure at some point Beyonce be complaining about some shit too. But then she stopped complaining when she looked at her bank account. Because she ain't got no complaints when she look at that bank account. Why is my shirt doing that? Hey, QM. Okay. But yeah, there's this thing. So, right. Thank you. But there's this thing there's this belief that when you're in education, everybody believes you have to have this passion for it, but that passion has to be 100% all the time. Like you should always be, so this way. And it's like, some days I don't like them kids. Some days I don't like my administration. Some days I don't like my coworkers. And it's okay. But yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, so the reactionary thing would be, like for instance, me moving jobs was not about I hate this place, which I did hate my old school, but it was also about the benefits I got from this job, which was they helped pay for my license, my education, my license. Ouch, ouch. But a reactionary move would have been just like, for instance, here's a reactionary move. So this guy, he worked with me in my old school, right? We were both special ed math teachers. We was both like, we need to get up out of here. So I got out first. I told him to come over to my network that I'm at now, right? I knew he needed to get licensed. We were all trying to get licensed and everything. And I was like, they pay him more and they're helping to pay for the licensing, right? So he started with me, I think because he got me a referral bonus because I did refer him and he stayed long enough for that. But he was having some issues. He stopped going to school, right? He flunked out of grad school the first semester. um, said he didn't like the school he was at and moved around. So now, then he told me he got this job at this school and he was making more money and blah, blah, blah. Y'all, what did I find out? That he now is working with another friend at another charter school because that other school he was at didn't work out, and he still ain't licensed. So he's still trying to get licensed. Yeah, so it was like, whew, y'all see, there's that knot. My hair is wrapped on itself. Oh, I didn't untwist this good. Whew. That's why I hate twisting my hair and doing bantu knots and stuff, because this is what happens. Okay, I did that well. I did that well, because I will rip the hell out of my hair. So let me just get through here. Let's make sure we're not ripping our hair apart, Louise. Because I'm telling you, the back of my head, the roots, baby. My kitchen is right up here. And so he still has not gotten licensed. Now he's flown from charter school to charter school, getting working. And still ain't making, and now he's not making, still trying to make that money. Right? Right? So I told them that I talked to the girl who does Bianca's braids, and she's a stylist, and she said she's gonna do me a silk press and a trim for $70. I'm about to be silk pressed up for a minute, for a hot minute. We're gonna see how my hair handles a silk press, because my roots be like, bitch, what? Don't play with us. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I'll be getting this done at the end of this month during spring break week. Whew. So I'm getting this hair done. I'm getting this hair done. I am trying to untangle this hair before I put this comb in it. See, the thing for me is I'm gonna have to see, because I really have not been going to get my hair done in years. And so I just want to see, okay, what's the difference? Is this going to work? So we're going to see how it looks. Oh, thank you. Girl, I be trying. I'm trying. The thing with my hair, though, it just reverts so quickly. So I'm going to need them put some of the miracle products in my hair so that my roots don't revert so quickly. Whew. Whew. Goodness. This shit is like ridiculous under here. And I knew it was. Doing your hair, Tricia. Right? See, that's the thing. Is that at $70, though, I can get it done. Oh, thank you. Um, at $70, I can get it done though. You know, my issue has always been I'm cheap. And the way these people have been pricing up everything, okay, baby, since the panorama, things have gone up so much. And like, for instance, we were just talking about this, the luxury products, right? Because have y'all seen how much Tiffany has gone up in their pricing on like the bracelets and stuff? Remember, you could get a Tiffany bracelet before the panorama, a sterling silver Tiffany bracelet for like right around $250, $300. Baby, them things are $600 now. Because it is so interesting how this has gone. And you know what it is? It's because people like us have started buying that stuff. So then they're either going to price us out, or they're like, okay, y'all really want to be luxury? We're going to make you pay luxury prices now. Yeah, they're right around $600 now. Yep. Yep. Or at least double. Depending on what you're looking at, they've pretty much doubled in price. And the price increase has happened in the last 2 years. And the price increases have happened in the last 2 years, y'all. And if you notice, like, the prices for the luxury designer bags have gone up a lot, and the price increases are ridiculous how much they've gone up, because it ain't just a percentage. They doubling prices almost. But here's the thing, there's a twofold thing to it I think is going on. Number one, they're trying to price out the average consumer to keep that exclusivity, and then to keep their because somebody like me might go buy a bag, but that might keep the person who will buy 6 bags from buying, because everybody has these bags now. So I know they are trying to, like, cater to those people, but in the same breath, they're not selling as much either. Shit. Okay, this is irritating me now. This is because this hair is getting caught up in it. Let me do this right quick, because I'm snatching hair from both sections. Yeah, so there's this thing where I think that's part of it, So they're trying to bring the price up to price out, somebody like me who might save up some money and buy one. But the thing about that is, the people are mad, like it's like y'all do know most of this shit's coming from the gate, right? Let's just be honest. The majority of people that we see on social media who have all these bags and are regular schmegular people, we talking about people that, they ain't CEOs, y'all. I feel like this, if you are on social media that much that you're kind of trying to make money off of it, you're probably, whatever you're doing, you wasn't making that much money. Let's just be honest. Why can't I get this hair to really get in there? So that's the honest truth. So, it's like, so we know that, they ain't buying that much, because come on now. You got the gate girls, but then you got the ones lying and acting like they ain't getting it from whatever gate type thing they're getting it from. Because we know that a lot of people, including some of these more wealthy people, are getting fakes. Whew, yeah, I need my head trimmed back. Then I'll start over again. So, okay. Yeah, so there's an uptick in the pricing. I mean, if you look at the pricing, you go, damn, because everybody's trying to do this ultra. I mean, think about, hey, Claudia, if you think about it, think about how much even the designer perfumes are now. I mean, the designer perfumes are going for damn near $200. They're going to be, I predict by the end of this year, we're going to see some that are just, fuck it, we 200. Now what? Now what? That's what we're going to see. Because, I mean, when Dior did Dior Lore and they put it at 180, that was like, okay, let's do this. Because now you're seeing much higher pricings on designer stuff. Now, I do predict soon we will see more of them hit the discounters faster because they're not going to be hitting them numbers soon. We're getting up in this here. Right, Tiger Lily is 180. Yes, honey. Yeah, that's the new standard. They 180. That's why by the end of the year they're gonna be 200. By the end of 2025 they're gonna be 225. So let's have a moment for that Alithia thing. Hi ES. How much backlash do we think Kayali's gonna get now that somebody that actually said it? That you know how they have to do the things they're doing for PR. Hi Margot. Yes, you do, because everybody's buzzing about it, girl. Everybody's buzzing about it. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Ah, whew. All right. Got this hair done. Yes, yes, yes. Boom, there we go. Um, So, not okay. So, she was speaking on, right? Yeah, she decluttered Vanilla 28. Um, well, you know how a lot of people speak are very favorable to things to continue to get the PR. To either get on the PR list or to continue to get the PR. And how it can be worrisome, pretty much. You know, it can be a little worrisome. You're doing all that. Oh my God, it's 7 o'clock. You know, this whole time forward thing is a lot going on. Okay. Whew. My hair is done. I guess I'm going to have to get off and do some work. Well, I'm washing clothes. Yeah, I got to put them in the dryer because I ain't got nothing to wear this week. So, whew. Well, and see, here's the thing that's so interesting. I call her a declutter queen because there's declutter queens who 1 minute they like it and then it's like, oh, but I really don't, and I just don't. Let me say this, and I've said this over and over again. The problem that everybody is having, and this is part of what they're saying, this rhetoric that they're saying, and that's why they're doing this so much and irritating viewers and everything, is that they have this mindset, especially with the and it's the smaller ones, because listen, when you get into the bigger female YouTubers, they not decluttering like that, and they have large collections, because if you're doing this stuff, you need a large collection. You just do, because you want to go back and talk about things, whatever. You wind up with a large collection. This whole belief that you have to have this small collection is stupid when you're creating content, because all it does is drive you to keep trying to buy things and then get on these PR lists so you can keep getting things. But the thing is that there's this mindset amongst these women. Well, I'm not using it. I haven't been using it, so I have to get rid of it. So I'm not going to keep it. That's the stupidest shit ever. And I'm just going to say that the way it is. And I know I offend people when I say things, but it's the truth, right? It's the stupidest shit ever. It's like saying I've got all these clothes and I got to wear them I've got to wear them at least during the year. And if not, I got purses. I need to be carrying on my purses, or I need to declutter them. That works for somebody who's into that minimalist life or whatever and have made this conscious decision to that. But if you're creating content, it's hard to do that being a minimalist, because see, part of the minimalist thing is they bash it and then declutter stuff all the fucking time. You can't take someone seriously if the first thing is, I really like it, but I'm just not reaching for it. Now listen, we all have to make space. Space is an issue. For me, it is. So I have to like be honest with myself sometimes, like, okay, bitch, can you get rid of some things? Maybe, right? Or just like, okay, really, I can get rid of these because I know I'm bringing in more. There's the thing. But most of the time when I get rid of stuff, it's really because it's okay, and I was just letting it linger. Now, if you're gonna say I really like it, oh my God, it's so good, and then 3 months later say, um, well, I'm just not reaching for it. Once again, that's the stupidest shit ever. Because the assumption is everything you buy, especially when you're doing this kind of stuff, you're going to be using it all the time. You're going to have to want to use it all the time in order for it to have validity in here. Give me a fucking break. But I will say this. It's also the viewer's fault, because y'all watch these damn declutters. And so therefore people will continue to do declutters because people watch them. So I'm telling y'all, part of the issue is y'all. It ain't just them, it's y'all. Because that's because it becomes, and if you notice, it becomes part of people's rotation, video rotations, is their declutters. Because they get views on them. Now I'm about to piss some people off because I done told the truth, but that's the truth of it. A lot of these people would not be decluttering as much if it wasn't for the fact that they get views on it. Right. Exactly. Right. Right. Now, what I will say is, I think it's a good fragrance. It's just not my style. Now, that's one thing, and then I can honestly say that. I'll tell you that. Like, if the shit's too masculine, I'll be like, it smells good, but I ain't never gonna wear it. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. But to say that you're wearing it, oh my God, I just love it, and then all of a sudden 4 or 5, and everybody's like, well, you have a right to change your mind. That's so true. You do. But what I'm saying is, you might want to give things a chance because perhaps you'll like it later. I mean, you could like it much later. You know, maybe in this season you're not feeling it. Like for instance, I got a bunch of damn coffee fragrances. Claudia gave me Coffee Addict. I done bought some more coffee. I have not worn any of them. I just wasn't feeling coffee this year. I wasn't. Last year, I was feeling coffee. I was wearing coffee. That was my thing last year, and I was wearing it. Now, the next time I roll around and I want to wear some coffee fragrances, I got some new ones to wear. I'm okay with that. But to go, oh my God, no, there are certain things, okay, it's a good scent. It's not like it stinks to me. It just ain't my style. That's one thing. But to do this whole, right, did you? Oh, that must be what's at my I didn't even look. Thank you, because I got to send you something too. That was something you want. But yeah, I was like, y'all just tripping. Y'all just tripping. No. And so, I mean, like, listen, it works well when you're in these Facebook groups because people be like trying something out, put it on, spray it 3 times, be like, I don't like it, I don't want it, I don't want it. It's great for your budget. But when it comes down to doing stuff like this, it's unrealistic and silly to do that all the time. What? Right? It's just unrealistic and silly to always be ready to say that, and it makes you look kind of like it messes with your credibility if you do this all the time. It just really does. But I'm just here to say it's the stupidest shit ever. I'm just gonna say it like it is. I know people will be like, damn, why she always gotta say shit like that? But it's the truth. Because people are quick to, right, exactly, right. If you like everything and then declutter it, I mean, literally, there were some people, I kid you not, it was like clockwork. They would do a bunch of hauls, and they still do. They slowed down probably because they've heard my black ass saying it. They would do a bunch of hauls. They would do like 2 or 3 hauls and be like, oh my God, this is so good, and talk about it. And so 3 months, and then right after that, it would be a declutter. And it would always be some stuff they was like raving about. It was so good. It was so good. It was so good. Like we said, there's no problem with changing your mind about things, true enough. But I also think that the majority of people, it's not necessarily they're changing their mind. They just feel like this is what they should be doing. They should be decluttering. I get it, because I had a moment like that when I first was really doing content, fragrance content, because somebody was like, well, if you're not using this, you should declutter it. And I did declutter some things that I wish I didn't declutter. I never got them back, but it was okay because I forgot what they were. But it was like there was this push to like, well, you need to get rid of it. And I was like, do I? Um, it's not just her. See, like her, it's not just her though, Margot. It's a cyclical thing. It's some older ones doing it too. And like I said, you have to understand from the YouTube perspective, declutters get views. Declutters get views. So you always want to put things in your rotation that get views. Declutters get views. Just like these goofy ass empties do too. So I said that too. Somebody can be mad at me for saying that too. Right? And so people do it for the views. Let's just be clear on that. But with that, and there's this mindset in the female beauty spaces at all that you have to declutter a lot. Now, from a makeup standpoint, you absolutely should, because if you're doing makeup content, that shit can stack up quickly, because the price points, especially when you're doing affordable price points and stuff, that stuff but we doing perfume. And the beauty about perfume is what I always say. You can always pull out something older and speak on it because somebody's going to have it or wants it or something. So therefore, the drive to always have the new shouldn't be as prevalent, but it is. But it's because it's the views. Now because you have more women watching fragrance videos, we are driving how it's done. Right? So we as women are driving how it's done. We are also the reason why the pricing of fragrances are going up. It's the pink tax. Think about it. The amount that they're charging for female is definitely going up because we are buying the fuck out of it right now. So now they're like, oh, let's make this money, and that's what they're doing. I mean, I'm gonna do a comparison. We should look at the difference between a brand new male fragrance that comes out versus a female fragrance that comes out. Just go on to look at the price difference. There's a difference. And don't get me wrong, I am one of the people who will have you spending money. I am not going to sit up here in front. If you listen to me. Ooh. Yeah, because we need to see if there's a pink tax on here, because I think it's a pink tax going on in reference to our fragrances, especially on the designer level. Let's go look. Because I don't think the men's stuff is rolling in at 180. I don't think so. I mean, I admit to it, but and we all do it. I mean, like, there's new stuff I'm looking at and all this kind of stuff. So we'll talk about that, because I got to do my list of new stuff I'm kind of looking at, I'm interested in, I've seen. I'm like, oh, let me see. But let me tell y'all something. I'm going to do a short on this. Listen, as older people, we cannot listen to these youngins telling us shit about things like concealer and skincare. Let's just be honest. If your ass ain't that far off your mama's titty, I don't want to hear your opinions on concealers and on skincare, because unless it's talking about something that's dealing with acne, but if you're talking about skincare for someone who's, you ain't losing no fucking collagen, You ain't got the lines. I told you this. So, with that being said, I have this Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Concealer. Let me tell y'all, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm gonna try it again, y'all. But honey, it was making me look a little ancient under the eyes. It was finding every nook and it was finding every crack and crevice and putting itself inside of it. So I'm gonna try to do a different prep and see if it works. But I'm just saying, let's stop listening to these youngins talking about, right? Because don't be because when you listen and you look at them, listen, if you ain't had to, if you ain't been working, if you ain't been in the workforce for at least 15, if you ain't been working for at least 20 years, been in the workforce for at least 15 to 20 years, so you got that irritated edge to your skin. If you ain't raised kids for the last, you got grown ass kids that done worked your nerves, that done made you, right? If you and if you don't have kids, if you've been living on this, you guys to be living for at least 4 decades before you start talking to me about shit like concealer and skincare. I need your skin to have been through some shit. I need your under eyes to look like they've been irritated and pissed off, and then I don't need that fresh 20-something-year-old. I need your ass to have gone through some shit before you start telling me about skincare and concealer, because this shit is flawless. Of course it is. Because you ain't got decade, you ain't been squinting for the last 10, 15 years trying to see. Right? You ain't been sitting up here. Your skin, you have not gotten to the point where you losing more collagen than you got. You trying to build up the fucking collagen because the shit moving so far. Don't talk to me about skincare or concealers or anything like that. If you ain't had the follow, if you ain't never had to figure out how you gonna pay your bills because you out on in these streets on your own and been doing it for years. If you ain't never had to deal with a fucked up employer, a boss that has you wanting to pull out your hair or shoot them. If you sitting up here talking about you in your first apartment, if you ain't had to pay a mortgage, or are you paying some serious high end, or you paying rent like a mortgage, then don't say shit to me about skincare or concealer. If you ain't had to sit in your room and rock trying to figure out how you gonna pay all these motherfucking bills and still eat, don't tell me about skincare. Don't tell me about how concealer works. You guys to have, I've been living wrinkles. You guys to have, I have been out here in these streets under eyes before you could tell me shit. Go talk to them youngins. Go, if I could still smell your mama's milk on your breath, don't even try it. That's it. That's all. Whew. When you like, do I pay the electric this week or do I eat? And then you trying to figure out how you gonna get the electric company let you keep your electric on while you trying to eat too. Don't fucking talk to me. Speaking of eating, let me go make me the salad. Let me go put my clothes in the dryer. Let me go make this salad. All right, y'all, because we know we done lost a whole fucking hour. And you know what I said? And let me say, if we should put this out there, I think daylight savings time should only be on the weekends. If you want to take an hour away from me, I can deal with it on the weekends. But on Sunday, I need to roll back, give me back my hour. I can do this shit from Friday. Take it away. Friday night. Okay, Saturday I lose an hour. Sunday I lose an hour. But on Sunday night, I need my hour fucking back for this week. I need that shit to flip back. Okay, y'all. I've had my rants for the day. Thank you all for listening. I appreciate you all. Have a great day. I'll see y'all later on this week. I need to fucking film something. Yeah, I got a couple things I can film. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great night.